Good evening, my dear friends. I'm extremely sorry. At this moment, I just came for Facebook Live. I really ask you pardon. I really ask sorry for late night live show. It's because of busy schedule. I could not make my time for live show. Before we start our work, let's invite my all dear friends who have beautiful and useful informations to share for further discussions, and everybody innovative ideas may help for future generations as well. Namaskar Dhananji, thank you for coming live. So I am yours, Veerabhadragoda Parekh, actor, artist, stand-up comedian, EMC, anchor, civil engineer, structural engineering. These all are my working areas. So today I just want to discuss on the points of soft skills development is very everybody life. Not only it's required for corporate sector, it's also required even for film industry as well. We have several departments in our film industry, namely a pre-production stage where the pre-production schemes are designed. When the movie starts, it starts with the ideology, concept, which is taken by the writer. We say that a writer or the concept is taken by the novel. A beautiful novel we choose for a movie. After finding a good topic for the movie, we just stick on that story and we try to understand the thread of each story. Once we get the thread, we go on to expanding the threads. We will get a beautiful narration where we come for the screenplay. Once it's done, then we go for dialogues. So once this script is perfectly ready, then we approach the producer or vice versa, production company approach the directors to get a good story. Either way it will work. Either director may approach the producer, or producer may approach the director, or producing companies may approach the producer or writers. In a separate areas, in a separate film industry, there are several routes to get involved in the film production. So, in pre-production stages, once the story is done, once the script is agreed by the production company or a producer, then the next work is casting. The required role has to match with the imagination of the writer, as well as the director, as well as the budget need. So for that purpose, these people go for the audition for the different area around the globe and get the best of best artists with the natural acting skills. Once all the artists got selected for acting, then they go under the training called workshop, where it is not important for some people. Some people say that I will come on the directly to the shoot, but some people it's really essential. Whoever may be the expert in acting, or he may be the legend in acting, but the kind of imagination, kind of the role is still required little improvement for the characters. The character involvement, character polishing work we say workshop. After that stage, then a person, namely art director comes. He will sit and discuss with the storyboard artist and directors what kind of scene has to be done and what kind of preparation he has to do for the set preparation. And he will also discuss with the costume designer what kind of dress will be suitable for the particular scene, shot and song. Once this costume designer, art director, writer, director all are set and they say ready to go, then they will finalize with the camera person and the cinematographer will come into the play for this action. Once the cinematographer understands the topic and with his imagination, with his involvement, with his soft skills, all the people come together with the new ideas and go for the location hunt according to their imaginations. Once location is finalized, then they will approach the financial dividency, means the production manager, executive producer, line producer, etc., etc., etc. So they will arrange the financial banks, supports, co-producers, so that feeding should not be stopped in any moment during the work. So with all this work, then they will go for the photo shoot to generate one image in a public that we are going to do something new topic for the present scenario. And after that, photo shoot with a unique quantity which suitable to the character as well as the story and say something uniqueness in the film. And after that, once the thread is ready, which important scene first has to shot with kind of adjustment. Some scenes has to character as well as team has to get involved. That's why non-important scenes got shorted initially so that it should not affect the lead of the story. And after that, a muhurta and all, the film starts shooting with the perfect scheduling. They will finish the movie within the stipulated time with all the acting skills and all the work, and then they will come for the editorial lab. They make a trimming, rough cut editing, then they will watch what kind of work they had done. If the addition or deletion required, they again go for the shoot, or they can manage with that whatever recorded data. Once this whole work is done, then they will go for voice dubbing and background score and re-recording, animation, graphics if it's required. If any green matte work is there, then VFX. After that, the title credits, and if any song dance is there, they would go for song shoot, and that has to be get involved in the movies. Like this, the whole process has to be done. And after the once movie is got ready, it has to be properly go for the publicity with print media or electronic media. It has to reach the heart of the people that these kind of movies coming to the theaters. So before 1 week or after 1 week, continuously it's go on, the people and the star and Mainly it's going to tell that this movie is going to come for the screen. Once it's ready, then the final day will come for the release. So totally these all the steps are having several planned stages. So totally any kind of mismatch or not having a proper planning, if any thread is missed, then the delay in the project will happen. So to avoid this all kind of problem, the proper planning is very much essential in the film industry, and proper feeding has to be done in film industry. The continued feeding for the required kind of project up to stipulated time. Once it's finalized, then there is no doubt that project will finish with required time. But also there are practical problems. We can say rain or kind of an accidents, or maybe the cancellation of the location which we already applied. To have all this problem, we supposed to give much more timings in 10 to 15 days extra, and also 10 to 15 percentage extra money for the delay in work, and 20 percentage of investment has to be there for the non-predictable accidents or unpredictable accidents. We have to invest for 20 percentage from our total budget of the movie. Why our movie not hit the screen regularly? Maybe the big budget movies come right time, but it's not possible with a low budget movie or newcomers. The very first thing is shortage of amount. What they planned and what they get. The main thing is, first initially their script demands a 20 percentage of investment, but to make the new thing they are going to invest, and they are going to think for 250 percentage of investment, when the producer is ready to invest only for 70 percentage. Then we have to think about remaining percentage of investment. So meanwhile, in the pre-production stage itself, according to the producer budget constraints and with the safety constraint, you have to restrict your story so that it should not demand an extra length of film line as well as investment. So once it is in your hand, once script is in your hand, then you have to think about that, how much budget I could save. So nowadays there are several camera came in the market. You can choose wisely with your storyboard and light demands, what kind of light arrangement you require, what kind of cameras is required, how many numbers of workers are required. Plan accordingly with everybody payments, and with satisfactory work you can have a perfectly output. So it required a kind of planning. So once it's perfectly planned, then it can be easily executable. So if you compare film industry with other industry, here it is a lot of uncertainties. So if you take is a business option, it have a lot of uncertainties compared to the other market. Take in a catering business, it is fixed, everybody require food, it will reach the profitable amount. Means once if you invested the amount for the producing the food, you will definitely get whatever your invested amount because the person get hungry easily and he has to eat. To get eat, he has to pay the amount. But here, in a film industry, it's not 100% compulsory to watch movies. It's an option. My dear friends, when option is in a market, we are not sure the option gets selected by the viewers. So if I analyze, or if we analyze like this, instead of making the option, let's make the product as a compulsion, so that they have to purchase the product, means they have to watch the movies, then only the invested amount you can get it. So what are the required quality so that one viewer has to watch that movie? It's a very essential. So the people just go on producing the movie, just comparing and watching in several other languages: Telugu, Tamil, Malayalam, Hindi, Marathi, Bhojpuri, or English or Korean movies. But have you once thought that the particular movie always based on their local, regional environment? Maybe certain kind of the story will match particularly for the particular film industry. It's not 100% satisfied for every film industry. So try to understand the concept of the movie. It might won in particular region or a particular film industry, but we cannot say that it will win here. So on that basis, what I am going to tell you that before selecting a story and before investing on any project, make sure that the script is worth to invest. If it is not possible, just redo or re-edit the work or rewrite the work or change the topic. Nowadays, for every field, the market is very uncertain. Any construction field or marketing or even FMCG. So when it is uncertain, the film industry is having a 99% uncertainty. So in that case, how we could restrict this uncertainty and make it possible of kind of output? How we can make it 100% short? We don't have enough much time. So for a director to make his a film in his lifestyle after getting educated in a film industry, suppose if he come forth at the age of 25 years, so for his life zone with the best movies, he could make hardly a 10 to 15 movies up to 70 to 80 years. Means a 10 to 15 movies if you do proper research. So you have only 10 to 15 movies. If you don't do the research also, then you're giving a low quality of movies to the market, and you are also insulting yourself that you're not fit for the competition. You are telling the wrong message for the market. Kind of low quality movies, when it comes to the market, it will spoil the entire market, and it will say that particular film industry is not competitive for the other film industry, resulting it will affect for the good movies. So to avoid the other films as well as our film industry future, we have to restrict and make a big decisions that to have one beautiful movie, we should have this kind of quality, like a BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard, have several standard to make all the product, but we don't have any authorizing agency to say that this movie is the quality. Of course, and I understand that there is a one governing institute which only govern kind of thing which affects the society. It will govern that whether it is violence in the society or not, whether it is having any disputable matter or controversial words or vision or any thing which affects the society. It will just restrict that kind of footages. That's what we called censor board. But it never interfere the quality of the product. It never interfere the kind of story. Again, it will leave to the director and the viewers or a production company. But we should have a kind of governing agency so that it has to tell that a kind output, it has to be minimum this kind of length, kind of resolution, lighting systems, kind of set, kind of songs, so that bare minimum quality they can maintain. In addition, if the production company has a shortage of amount in between, the government or a certain body has to take care of the movie for further feedings, or the movie has to get insured for to safeguard the accidents, not kind of production accident. I'm telling in terms of profit if it is lost, so we can reduce that loss in terms of insurance. When your capital is protected, when your profit is protected, then producer will be safe. Once producer is safe, then all artists, technicians and the team will get proper pay. Once it is ready, then so many talent can think to come for film industry. I will tell you that in any Indian film industry, only 20% of artists and directors will come to film industry, and remaining 80% will go on moving. Means for every 5 to 10 years the people will accept the defeat. It's not their cup of tea, and they will go back to their work, get back to their work, because kind of uncertainty, because kind of not getting any proper pay. To avoid this kind of work, what we need to do, make sure that every artist has to get a minimum pay according to their experience, according to their talent, and make sure that all the directors get their minimum pay so that they will survive in metros. And after that, for their work, let it be the fixed amount of charges. If the work is perfect and beautiful, if it is liked by the audience, then their incentives will be like in a business. But what is happening nowadays means it is not at all in the controlled manner. When a producer under the laws, obviously he will restrict his budget, but it will affect the writer as well as director. When it is compromised with the kind of quality of output, the vision, then he has to change the story. But director never want to change his story because of the budget, so he want to adjust the budget. But even the story writer or a director ready to change the topic, but producer or the actor demand for that, this is a good story, make it a less budget. This kind of statement make that it will make the directors to rethink about his ability to make a good movies. So once it's the total budget is restricted, then obviously he cannot deliver the beautiful output or beautiful work. So what's next? What he's supposed to do with? So in this dilemma, he cannot even proceed for the next step. For this kind of work, they will lose 2 to 4 months to get started. That's why the budget has to be pre-planned. It should not be compromised with the story. So once the budget is restricted, make the story according to that budget, not make the story and fix the budget. Let the directors or writers, okay, I agree that, let you have your own story when it is supposed to match with the producer's money, then you go for producing that kind of movie. But when it is not possible with that only amount, for example, if you write some kind of projects which involving 10 to 15 crores, but when you get a producer of 40 lakhs, it's no doubt, don't go for that. Go with a little bit slow and worth investing of local story, and go with the newcomers with a kind of innovativity you can prove yourself. Or if your budget will accommodate certain kind of stars, then also you can move on. This kind of strategy, if producer or executive producer or direction team have, then there is a no movies get lost. And you have to make a survey that presently the 34% of youth we have in our nation. So youth related all topics obviously getting connected in India, so that the youth related any movies can run more than the other topics. This is also one hint for every producer or directors. But what is happening is not in our control. So what the selection of the topic, I also agree that there are several different flavor required for every movie. Love story, a comedy track, historical, or a tragedy, or a war, or an action, or a sci-fi movies, or creative movies, or a drama. But apart from this all, if some person will come with a unique idea, let it support, and some producer also there in India and even abroad for the experimental movie. Experimental movie, of course, initially it is not confirmed for its output, but one who comes to take a risk, we have to grateful for him. But we cannot say that it may get lost. How to overcome the loss in the experimental movie? So the thinking of the people, when it is only limited to love, romance, or a comedy in action, if you want to change the thinking of the audience, make sure that let the audience get into connected from their own choice towards your thinking. Means if the audience wanted to watch only romantic stories, or a particular region areas wanted to love to watch the comedy, if you get this kind of information from your survey, then start your story from the comedy or romantic or an action, then come for an experiment. Maybe the movie storyline get affected, but take a scene by scene with the light flavor, change the tune of the movie and make it an experiment. So the people start to understand what is going and what is changing in the whole screenplay. Once they involved, they will flow according to your storyline. They will start thinking according to your storyline. when they understand the concept, when they thinking your concept, when you give the twist and unpredictable scenes, they say that wow, then your movie is going to hit in a box office. This kind of normal action is already taken around the world, but unfortunately in India, this kind of work is still for newcomers, they are not adopted. I also accepted that big banner production companies, they already took this suggestion and they already implemented, they already got a profit. But so many low budget producers or low budget producing companies did not understand this concept. So these are the two traits of movie producing skills for any filmmaker. Apart from this, I have one more steps for a selection of artists. The selection of artists also govern the major role for your movie. What kind of stars perfectly match to your character is a big work. To make sure that that character is involved for that, so usual trend is get auditioned, select a few people and make a costume, take a photo shoot. Once it is a match with the storyboard, they will finalize. Some people after finalizing also, they will make the workshop sessions with the different characters. Once who match the character, then they will finalize. In few peoples, after the pilot shoot for internal purpose, then they will finalize. It is a several kind of making a final choice of an artist for a particular movie segment. So like this, the movie is a thought and planning, and with a financial strategy they will go. So today I just discussed, apart from an arts, I just discussed with the producer part of the producer point of view. I just discussed about and making it perfectly protected for film industry. So this is the one kind of thought what I wanted to share. Apart from that, an artist point of view and technician point of view. But as you know that a technician as well as a kind of service chain in a film industry always safe. They don't have any kind of effect for releasing or post-releasing works. The only kind of the problem is with the producer, director and artist and writers. Presently for the low budget movie makers. For a big banner and high budget movie makers, there's no doubt that they will manage, they have their own planned setups and they knew how to take it invested money out of the work. So this is what I wanted to share, and I am just talking about the soft skills. Yes, my dear friends. So usually what thought came for a film industry or in a common people, one who is not fit in a normal job, one who is not useful in the society, they have to go for film industry. But it is a wrong idea. Film industry also required a skill and a kind of training and a kind of involvement. It is also a profession and it is also one kind of thing which required precise work. For that also you require a training, including me also. It's required training. Even I also did not go for any training program. I also accept my problem. But the thought of the people in the industry and out of the industry both are the same. 90% of film industry say that there is no life in film industry because it is uncertain. I'm not telling that their thought is wrong or it came from their experience. Several artists and directors they saw from so many decades, they conclude that if you dependent on the film industry, you won't get anything in your life except few stars or a few star directors or a few writers or a few producing companies. Means a 3% of only film gets success out of 90 out of 100. Means 97% of people still struggling. Out of 97%, maybe 5% are struggling to move on for the next stage of pre-success stage. 10% people almost done their work, but because of the publicity or because of the rejection in the viewers, they not reach that point. 30% movie not properly finished or reached for the market, and remaining 50% out of 50%, 20% might be the loophole in the script or loophole in the making. So if we fix all these kind of problems, we can minimize the failure of the movies. So with this all analysis, one by one, if you take all the movie, do the analysis of what budget invested and what output they got, and what kind of star cast they made or casting they made, and what kind of story and the songs. So you will get to know that success story of each movie. I really thankful for all the viewers still in the midnight you're watching it and you're understanding my concepts. So it is also a beautiful area for our fellow engineers or students to make a research on that topic for analysis of all the successful movies, which kind of where they get famous, kind of story or a song or a star or a luck, with the proper research and proper data. So there is also has to take care for the film industry in Sandalwood, so that it will help for the future generations. And certain kind, we have acting schools, direction schools or film institutes, but we don't have a university for particular film industry. So if you make an university for the fine arts or filmmaking, that would be far better for the improvement of all the films with proper work. That is my kind request for all the film fraternity in film industry and audience and the viewers all over the world who wanted to support for the Sandalwood. I am Veerbhadragoda P. Patil, an artist, stand-up comedian, anchor and script writer. Wanted to tell you on behalf of Sandalwood. So if you have any ideas to give for improvement of the Sandalwood, it's all is welcome. Through this Facebook media, it will helpful for the upcoming directors or upcoming artists or production company or technicians or future technicians or future directors or senior directors or established directors or old directors and even artists and technicians as well. Already we have a kind of a beautiful talented people. No doubt we have a lot of strength in our film industry. We have a talent hub, human resource. We have a beautiful locations. We have a producing companies and budgeting persons. But only the problem is organizing this all into on a proper line. Once it is organized, no doubt on that, in a future it will be 100% right. And second thing I wanted to put that today, when you go for any film set, it's not organized. Means the costume designer, they should wear the uniforms so that we have to differentiate whether he's a costume designer or any person or any outsiders. Let him make a card, a customer card. It's already there or not there. Some people already made a costume designer card. Some people not thought to make it, but they also done a beautiful work. And a writer's card and writer's uniform, director's card, director's uniform, lighting director's card, lighting director's uniform, labor's card and labor's uniform, stunt master's card and stunt master's uniform, choreographer card, choreographer's uniform. Apart from the scene demand, if you make it, it will be easy to differentiate the people. And for the catering people, security people, so that it will make a set of organized production house. So when it is in a one kind of beautiful set in a disciplined way, then the people also think to make it in a proper way. When a labor is happy in your production company, obviously your output will also be good. So first, labor class, working class, artist class, and direction class, technician class, makeup artist, whatever the kind of required department are in a good position with all kind of required and expected salary or a remuneration or kind of percentage sharing, whatever kind of like this agreement, when they are happy, no doubt on that in the future days their output also good. So we required a disciplined work, pre-planned schedules and innovative skills, pre-planned budget constraint and budget managing, and protecting your capital in a film industry. If you make all these things, and your movie will be better. To protect all these kinds, the government also get involved to make it one beautiful university for the research of all the movies so far done in Sandalwood. It would be useful for the audience as well as film producing companies and film industries. So this is my kind request for honorable government as well as Karnataka film industry as well as audience. So with this all the short note, I really thankful whoever joined. Dhananjay, Vanvi, Yochi, Suresh Gowda. Thank you for watching my FP Live. Keep on watching me and supporting me. I'm yours, Veer Bhadraguna Patil, Veer. Bye-bye.